At the War Memorial, Dan Duva with Crunch goalie Cedrick Desjardins. How are you, Cedrick? Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody! Thanks for having me on a short notice to the camera, and but no, it's easier Halloween when you have like couple wins or 4 wins in a row, and looking ahead for the weekend too. So it'll be a trick or treat for us today.
Indeed, after a big victory for the Crunch down in Albany last night, 4-1 was the final score. You've won back-to-back games after losing your first couple. You feeling more in a groove now?
For sure. Honestly, we got a really different group of guys from last year. A lot of guys are back, but we got a lot of young guys, and it took us a few games to get like in the grind together, get all the guys together. And same thing for myself too. Like my game wasn't 100%. We're building that, and you know what? Like those few wins we had like were huge, and you don't want like you want to build with a good start, you know. Like it's tough to when you fall behind. It's tough to catch up. Playing catch-up hockey is not the best, even in the game, even in the standings too. So for us, we're preaching better third pair. That's a little bit what got us like few losses to start. Is like we didn't finish the games well, and our defense wasn't like touch up. Like we work on that, and same as goalie, we need big saves when needed, and that's what happened last few games.
Yeah, and we've seen already in the first couple of weeks of the season, the Crunch have needed 3 goaltenders. You were called up to Tampa Bay for a little while. Now Riku's unavailable. He'll be out a couple weeks with an injury. So you got to see Kristers Galevskis make his AHL debut. Got the shutout. Pretty impressed. What'd you think of Kristers?
Really big goalie, really aggressive. It's fun to watch. He's got a lot of skill, a lot of really athletic, and you know what? Like he's a young goalie, but with a bright future in him. And he's a funny guy too, funny character. Like he's willing. He's got a great attitude, and like it's a great partner to work with. And same as Riku, and that's what makes it interesting. We got like 3 good goalies, 3 goalies. We get along pretty good, and like it's for the best of us, best for the team, and like we're like looking ahead. And you know what, like there's this every night, no matter who's in net, we have a chance to win, and that's the most important thing. And like we had 3 games in a row with 3 different goalie, and we found a way. And yesterday let's roll back. Like, I won't mind, like it's a lot of rest, so it would be less than those like games at the end. Like, you get a little tired. Like now you're playing a lot of games, easier. But no, looking forward, and like it was a great opportunity for Kristers to get in with a shutout too. It was a great effort for him, and he'll be back tomorrow in net as well.
And for you, and we haven't really talked too much about the run last year since you've come back, and not only getting to the Calder Cup Finals, a great run for the Crunch, but you set number of Syracuse Crunch playoff records, the shutouts, the wins, the goals against average, all of these things, a great run for you. So what does the experience of last year's playoffs mean for your career, and how does it affect this season with you in Syracuse again?
You know what? It was great. Like honestly, like we had a great team, and like you said, like I wasn't in bluff. You don't think about stats. You're playing like you're playing like the game on the line, and you have no tomorrow. And for myself, I was just honestly, if you compare this time of year last year, I was with a new team in Hamilton. Like we're not going anywhere. We didn't have a great. We have a young team, but like we're missing like, and coming to Syracuse a great opportunity for me, and I tried to make the most of it. And I think that's a little bit the result. It was like that. It's like the stats were there, but at the same time we're a couple games away. That's a big prize. I will trade those stats for the prize, that's for sure.
Yeah, and of course winning the last couple of games. Let's first go to Utica, which was an interesting game. First time that Syracuse plays in Utica. They had Joachim Eriksson stole the show. He made some pretty impressive saves, but at the end of the day, you came up with the clutch dumps when you needed to, including in the shootout at the end of the game. How important was that victory for you, not only to get the win against Utica, your first win, but to play with all your teammates, a lot of block shots in that game? What did the feeling happen before that game and then afterwards?
It was a great game, you know. Like I lost the 2 first one. Like there were a couple of tough losses too, and like Utica, they've been looking for the first win. They gave their best. Like they were working hard. It seems that we have controlled the game, but at the same time, like they were always hanging there, try to get they had the first point against us, and like they deserve it because they work hard, and like it wasn't easy. Like I didn't have a lot of shot, like 1-1 game, and like you said, like it end up in a shootout. Anything can happen in a shootout, and I was impressed too. Like our couple guys scored, and that was enough for me to win that game. And that was a really thing. Like the team was looking like that kind of started that little streak we have right now. Like that was a good momentum builder, and you know what? Like I like to play there. There was a nice little barn. I didn't know what to expect, but there was nice little, good fans, and it was good for the American League to have a team like that.
Yeah, and of course, plenty of Crunch fans over in Utica last week. That was the first win for you, and then in Albany last night, different feel to the game. Rather than biting your nails right through the end in the shootout, you had a 2-goal lead in the first period. Crunch scored 2 goals in the first period yesterday. Only 2 goals in the first period all season. So a little bit more comfortable, but again, you still played really well. A couple of fantastic saves. What stands out for you as your best moments of last night's game?
You know what? It's a 2-0 lead right away. But our PK did a way better job. Like we took like 4 penalties in the first, and shut down their power play right away. That kind of give us the momentum, and a 2-0 lead. Like it looks good, but like as a team, as a goalie, you know, like the other team's gonna come with their best shot in the second or in the third period. And you know what? That's we play well. Like we contend, and for myself, like that was the first game I made like the U shade that make the difference in the game. And you know what? Like as a goalie, that's especially with the type of team we have here. We don't give a lot of shot, but like goalie needs like that's a little bit what we were doing last year too, is like get a couple big save, and like we know we're gonna win the game with your goalie and your blocking shot, and we're going to find a way to score enough goal to win the game, and that's pretty much what happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And the Crunch getting ready for a couple of games this weekend. They'll be at home against Rochester on Friday, down to Binghamton on Saturday. But again, today is Halloween. Your family is here in Syracuse. You've got, the trick-or-treating. What's going on? I know you got some team stuff, some family stuff. Happy Halloween, right?
Yeah, exactly. I got a little guy that's first last year. It was only 3 months, so he wasn't big enough for he had a little lion costume, but he had no clue what's going on. But this year we got him a little Spider-Man, so I tried to sneak out a couple candies and stuff, and he loved the chocolate bar, so I'm sure we're going to sneak out a couple chocolate bar tonight for him.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, good question. I always like gummy bears. I always love those kind, but if not, would be I'll say chocolate, like good old like a Kit Kat or
maybe a Crunch bar.
Crunch bar, yeah, that's true. Crunch bar, they're the best.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with that name.
Quick thoughts on the weekend. As we mentioned, Rochester and Binghamton this weekend. You're expected to play on Saturday. Thoughts on the weekend and the opponents you'll have? A couple of teams you've already seen this year.
Yeah, it's honestly Rochester's playing pretty good. Like I don't think they played their best against us here, and I expect them to have a better game tomorrow. Bingo, we got to beat them. Like they had their number the first 2 games, and like they're playing well, a young team, and they're all like teams that we know, and the teams we're gonna still like play again like later in the season too. That's what I've been told. Like told the team like this morning. Like the next 10 days are like a lot of huge game coming up. Like we got like this weekend, but next week too with Wilkes-Barre, Norfolk. So a lot of games important in the standing, important for us as a team to build and like try to set the tone and say, you know what, we're the Crunch, and you guys know what's coming. You know, every game will be tough, and that's good. Like we're doing good, and like this weekend will be a test, and then next week will be even a bigger challenge for us.
Right now, a wonderful blend of the youngsters and the more experienced guys like Cedrick Desjardins with 2 straight wins. Crunch have won 4 in a row. Cedrick, thanks very much for your time, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
And happy Halloween. With Cedrick Desjardins, I'm Dan Duva.